I'm sorry, guys. I'm not doing a frickin' guitar intro for that game. Mostly because I'm too tired to look up the tab for Howlin' for You for by the Black Keys. Even though I should probably know that song because that song is a certified banger. In what should be the easiest game of the 3 game road trip to close out the gauntlet. The Bruins lose 4-3 to the Arizona Coyotes in a game where they outshot the Coyotes 46-16. Tonight, I learned truthfully that two things are true. Two things can be true at the same time. First of which is that Jeremy Swayman has likely taken a step back in his progression, and the second of which being that the Bruins do not play well in front of Jeremy Swayman. Yeah, I know. Swayman wasn't really anything to write home about tonight. He wasn't really any sort of good. He was decent. He was mediocre at best. But at the same time, what is the defense in front of him? You know what this feels like? You know what this 100% feels like? This feels like that game against the freaking this feels like that game that the Bruins had against the who is it? The Red Wings last year where they had like 42 shots on where they had like 1 goal on 42 shots, and the freaking Red Wings had 2, and the Red Wings still won on like 14 or 15 shots. It was embarrassing. Between a team that is because between a team that just won the Stanley Cup, a team deep in a team balls deep in a rebuild, and a team that has been jockeying for position, that has been jockeying for first place since the start of the season, and just delivered you your first loss on home ice. You would think that the one that's deep in a rebuild would be the one that we easily win. But no, it turns out to be the one. It turns out to be the one that gives us fits the entire night. And the writing was kind of on the wall less than 30 seconds in. Josh Brown just short side slamming and to put the Yotes up 1-0 that early, less than 30 seconds into the game. Yet, I don't care what defense you have in front of you, Slamming. That's one that you need to have. That is one that, I mean, realistically, any sort of short side goal is one that a goalie should probably have. But 30 seconds in. 30 seconds in. A little bit later, Liam O'Brien ends up getting 2 for roughing after Trent Frederick. I will say this. Okay, I will say this about the Bruins. Sure, the Bruins played like garbage this game. But if there is one line that I will say is our best line, it is the third line. It is Taylor Hall, Charlie Coyle, Trent Frederick. And I'm pretty sure if you went back to like 2019 and told everybody that these 3 players would be on the same line at some point, you would have had a bunch of people telling you, if you asking you when's the last time you went to. You'd probably have a bunch of people asking if you asking if you're wearing grippy socks. Because I mean, realistically, back in 2019, it was Taylor Hall had just won the in the Hart the previous year. Charlie Coyle had just been traded to the Bruins, and Trent Frederick. I don't think anybody knew who Trent Frederick was. I'll tell you who people did know back in 2019. David Pastrnak. David Pastrnak gets his 19th of the season after the Bruins just crashed the net getting 1, 2, 3 he attempts at it until Karel Vejmelka is blocking, ends up having the puck scored out to McAvoy. McAvoy passes it to Pasta's office. You know exactly what happens. You know 100% what happens. And it's next. It's Pasternak. He one times it at the face-off circle. And Vejmelka looks like a fool. It's 1-1. Bruins and Coyotes end up trading penalties a little bit. The bottom six for the Bruins really shows up this game. And we head to intermission tied at 1. In the second, Nick Schmaltz ends up going for holding the Coyotes killed, but Foligno ends up going a little bit later for tripping on Josh Brown. And Jacob Chikrin in pots a one-timer. I forget from who, but it puts the Coyotes up 2-1, except it doesn't. Yes, the Coyotes fortunately got caught in a genjutsu here, and they were pretty offsides for this one. So that ends up taking the goal back, and the Bruins kill the rest of the penalty. A little bit later off the faceoff, Jake DeBrusk decides to tame 2 hungry dogs. Their names are Charlie Coyle and Trent. DeBrusk puts a juicy piece of ribeye right in front of the net, telling the two boys to go fetch. They are snarling, they are batting at it, and Charlie Coyle ends up victorious, batting the puck right into the net to put the Bruins up 2-1. And we all think that this is going to be where the Bruins are going to shine until Shane Gostisbehere gets his stick on the puck. And I will forever say this: Shane Gostisbehere throughout the entire 2010s and right now into the 2020s is Shane Gostisbehere is one of the most underrated defensemen in the entire league. I think maybe him being on the Flyers may have contributed to it, and just the Flyers being kind of mid. But yeah, I think that Shane Gostisbehere is a fantastic defenseman, and he got his stick on the puck at the blue line. He shoots it. Lawson Krause doing the cool thing and redirecting it from Swayman's glove side to his blocker to put to corral the puck into the net to put the Yotes up 2-2. I don't know if I put that one. I don't put on Swayman. That one I put squarely on the defense. You let Shane Gostisbehere get like a 75-foot long passing lane. You have every right to be ashamed of yourself. And then we get to the point where I knew that the Bruins weren't going to win this. Is where the dual breakaways that turn into nothing. Now look, I know that Karel Vejmelka is by all means not that bad of a goalie. But the fact that we got goalied by him is it's wearing on me. The one in question that I'm talking about is Pasternak and DeBrusk getting back-to-back breakaways and converting neither of them. Most hardworking players in the entire on our roster in DeBrusk, and one of the most talented shooters in the entire league in Pasternak, and you don't convert either of these. It was not fun. And Bruins and Yotes trade penalties to end the period where we go into a 2-2. Third period starts and Nick Schmaltz and Clayton Keller from pretty much the blue line passes it right to Clayton Keller, who's was at like the bottom of the face-off circles and was to just tap it in past Swayman. And that one I put on Swayman and Lindholm. Both of you should have some sort. Whether you have an equal share of responsibility in that. Swayman had more than enough time to get to the post side to get to block off the shot from Clayton Keller. And Lindholm, okay, I love Lindholm. I think I love Lindholm. He's kind of dropped off from where he was in terms of being a Norris candidate, and this kind of shows how much he's dropped off. I don't think that this is like indicative of him being like a bad defenseman. No, this is no, one bad play does not make you a bad defense. It does not make you a bad defenseman. Just like one bad shit, just like one god awful shift does not make you a bad player. No, he thinks that he has the positioning on it, but instead of dropping to the ground and spreading himself out and spreading his arms out to try and block off the pass, he just instead tries to wrestle with Keller for the puck. Sometimes that might work and require a lot less effort than falling to the ground and having to get back up. But at the same time, there's like your stick covers a lot less ground than your entire body. I would and at this point in the season, I would 100% expect Lindholm to do that. I would 100% expect Hampus Lindholm to fall on the ground to stop that puck. Anyways, 3-2, and I don't know what to think anymore. Richie ends up going for goalie interference, and oh my god, quite possibly one of the worst goalie moments in the entire. One of the I mean, shoot. I meant to say one of the worst reffing moments of the season. Oh no, the refs are blind. You should always assume that the refs don't have their contacts in and they haven't checked their prescription in months. But for the love of God, not only did JJ Moser have his hands wrapped around Brad Marchand's stick. Marchand like tried twice to pull it out of Moser's grip, right in front of linesman St. Pierre. Like, for the love of God, call something. If it was not 12:26 in the morning, which is when I'm recording this, I would be shouting that right now. The Oats kill off the rest of the Richie's penalty, and I'm confused as to why we're still playing until one of the funniest moments of the season pops. Nick Schmaltz goes for tripping, but it's a delayed penalty, and Marchand takes it deep into the zone to make sure that Swayman gets some time. Gets to go off, and for them to get an extra attacker on. But it's also during the middle of a line change, so you could just see Marchand trying to kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 5. Where's 6? Marchand playing chaperone on the school field trip to Tempe, asking, trying to find the lost kid, and ends up not even mattering because the Yotes end up getting possession of the puck, and the Bruins head to the power play. What the hell are the Bruins doing? This doesn't look good. Why are you playing like this? Why are you playing like this? And then Krejci with the sauce to Foligno on the one timer too. Oh my God, Uncle Nick coming to pick us up from this nightmare of Uncle Nick coming to the rescue to pick us up from this nightmare of a field trip. This was just this is just awful. This is just awful. This is just an awful game, but at least Foligno scored to make it 3-3. And then we get the dumbest play of the game, which ends up being the game-winning goal. The Yotes end up icing the puck, but they don't end up icing the puck I don't know how this happens, but I don't know how this doesn't get called for icing. I guess maybe there's just a very slim chance that like forward got a small piece of it, or if it just barely grazes the crease, it doesn't count for icing. Even though I've seen so many instances where that has happened, and the defense just doesn't do anything. The defense just doesn't do anything. They don't realize this until they don't realize that it's not a penalty, that it's not an icing until way too late. And by that point, Lawson Krause already has buried the puck with 13 seconds left. And unfortunately, we don't have Dave Bolin on our team, so I can't come back from this in like 6 seconds. So the Bruins end up holding their fourth regulation loss of the season, and it's to the freaking Coyotes. Credit to Arizona. They played their tails off in this game. But at the same time, the Bruins looked like garbage. I guess I would like to see better. I would like to see better play from Swayman. But I would also like to see better play from this team in front of Swayman. We should not outshoot the team. We should not outshoot a team that is in deep competition with teams like. We should not outshoot a team who's in deep competition with San Jose and Vancouver for who gets Bedard and for who gets Connor Bedard in the 2023 draft. We should not outshoot that team by a factor of nearly 3-1 and still lose. It doesn't even make me happy that the Bruins fans travel well on this one. And cool, yes, it's fun that you guys managed to sell out a 5,000 seat arena. It's named the Mullet. Give all the shit to Arizona that you want for being just a train wreck of a franchise. Is the fact that their stadium is called the Mullet is quite possibly one of the funniest things of all time. Either way, Bruins, you frick this one up. And I don't know. And considering that last time you played Vegas, you lost. Going back to house on the next one, and it's the end of the gauntlet. It's the end of the gauntlet on this next one, and where we're 5-2-1 on the gauntlet. And honestly, with how we've been playing, I kind of expected to win here. I expected us to get 6-1, 6-1-1 in here. I don't know. But since this is being uploaded on the 10th, because it is West Coast stuff. Tomorrow, Bruins, you gotta freaking bring it. You gotta freaking bring it tomorrow night. I don't want to hear any excuse. And for the love of God, don't make it feel like this team needs a chaperone. Do not make feel like this team needs someone to don't make this team feel like it needs to be the to be like, don't make us feel like we need to be taken care of. Make the other team feel like it needs to be taken care of, not us. And that is gonna end it for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like. Click subscribe if you're like. Up there is my most recent video, and down there is not only my Twitch.tv, but also Tampa Bay Thrives to help people, to help teenagers who are struggling with mental health and body image issues. Tomorrow's game against Vegas, and the end of the gauntlet, as people have been saying. And I'll see you guys then. Take care.